Welcome back, people. It is episode 15 of season 5 of the Taxi Squad podcast. We got a fair amount to get into today, but before we do any of that, please like, follow, and subscribe wherever you do get your podcasts. Also, if you want to share some thoughts, give us a holler, 312-725-2107. We got a fair amount to get into today. We got strange and unusual topics about former football coaches stealing IP addresses. We got some tournament final news for you. I hope your bracket stayed intact. We got some hockey talk, and then Masters. And before you know it, we'll be into the MLB and some NBA pre-playoff topics and a sprinkle of Bears Corner. It's the Taxi Squad podcast.
Come on, everybody, celebrate. The Taxi Squad is here today. So lose the blues, kick back and relax for now. We talk about sports and stupid stuff. We're probably wrong and it might get rough. So welcome back. It's the Taxi Squad, yeah.
Vince, how you doing, bud?
I'm good, man. I got my Masters green on right now, all over the place.
Yeah.
I got this nice little cup going on. Boom.
Yeah.
It's Masters week, dude. I'm doing great. I'm ready to sit on the couch. I'm ready to watch golf all weekend. Maybe get a couple two snoozes in there. It's the most calming thing on television once a year.
It is. It is. Jim Nance, just such that velvet voice to lure you to sleep. And just once, and I think we discuss this every year, I would love if the guy who announced soccer did the Masters.
Which
it would be electric. Like the Mexican ones.
Goal!
Let's be real. Let's be real. And the cup, and the ball is going to the cup. And the ball, go! It would be fantastic. It would be perfect.
He does like a guest spot and one hole, so the whole rest of it's real calm, and then one hole he just starts screaming. Wakes up all the dads in the area. I like it.
Wakes up all the dads in the area, a bunch of pretentious white people just being like, that's not right. And you're just like, shut up.
I like it. I like it.
Eat a pimento cheese sandwich, get a stomach ache, blow a fart. Watch the Masters.
If you're going again this year, reminder, as I've given the last 2 years since I went in 2023, or 1 year, I guess. Pimento cheese not that good. Really not that good.
I mean, how could a cheese sandwich be good?
It was like you can make your own, I guess, but people romanticize it so much that
just
like
cheese.
And like the thing is it's like $1.50, right? So they just throw it on 2 pieces of Wonder Bread and they're like, enjoy. And you eat it. You're not getting a culinary experience. You're getting a cheese sandwich.
Is there any like mayonnaise or like Dijon mustard on that bitch?
I think they mix it in there and they put like the pimento peppers and stuff in it. I got multiple because I was, it's all you can eat the whole time you're there. So like, you go and you get a couple things because you're not getting steak or whatever. So I went and I got that. I got the chicken salad, much better. Chicken salad, much better.
Chicken salad's got a slap.
The undescript blue drink.
What's in the blue drink?
It's just blue sports drink. I think it's Gatorade, but
did it taste like Gatorade, Vince? I mean, Gatorade has a distinct taste.
They just didn't have like the legal rights to call it Gatorade, so they just call it blue sports drink.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then the beer's good, but it's so goddamn hot that you drink the beer and you're like, I don't even want a beer right now. I need water and blue sports drink.
Well, beer is just a lot to drink in the heat, right?
Yeah.
Usually you got to drink like a rich white woman in the heat. You got to drink like, a White Lotus Star. That's what you got to do.
Well, like a white wine?
Like a white wine, a vodka, gin. In the words of Ron Swanson, clear alcohol is for rich white women. And
yep.
I mean, it's kind of like what it is.
I generally drink like a rich white woman because I'm a vodka sodas guy anyway.
Any man who man shames you for not drinking beer or whiskey, like just
macros. Talked about it last week. Macros, dude. I'm not getting my macros from Jameson, even though I love it. I
mean, let's face it. You're not getting macros from any alcohol.
100%, but you can limit them as much as you possibly can.
You can limit the caloric intake. That's true. Don't drink sweet also. You'll just Yeah, beer
Yeah.
is just bread.
Yeah, no, thank you. Too many cops. I don't know what to tell you.
But
But also
light beer, let's face it, why? Like, right, why?
yeah, I'm with you. You also don't want to get smashed at the Masters. You want to go there and experience it for what it is. Like, it's not.
Yes.
I wasn't trying to get sauced up at the Masters tournament.
You want to be politely intoxicated. You don't want to be fall over waste management intoxicated.
Yeah.
They're two very different terms.
Vis-a-vis, yon, drink a beer. Like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, posh.
Yeah, it's not like waste management over here, which is like every college kid's dream to go get shit-faced at the greenskeeper.
Yeah.
And then you got just like a bunch of like mid-20s jack dudes walking around trying to hit on women, purposely running into you, just being like, we're not doing that today, bro. I'm like, I had one guy bump into me on purpose, and I was like, oh, hey. He's like, are we doing this today? I was like,
yeah.
Yeah,
there are a lot of those juice head muscle boys in Arizona. You can run into,
and it's not even like he was juice head muscle boy. He was like walking around in like a fur coat for attention in the middle of like 80
so he's just
heat.
a loser.
Yeah, pretty much. And he had on big douchebag glasses and like a bandana, and he like purposely bumped into me in a very crowded space, and I was like, oh, my bad, man. And he's like, we doing this? I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing exactly? I'm here to have a good time. You want to fight people?
He was
and people
looking
get
to pick
kicked
a
out
fight
because, well, these are these guys, right? And then not only that, you got old guys on the balance of it all trying to hit on the young white women or just young women in general.
That's golf, baby.
That's golf for you.
You don't get that at the Masters. I'll tell you that. You can't even get people's numbers because you don't even have your phones on you.
You don't even have your phone. So what's truly fascinating, and we'll talk about it more, is that the menu, I mean, there's nothing past $5 on that menu.
Yeah, it's still cheap. I mean, like everything else is expensive. Like when I went to the store, I spent like a solid $400, I think.
That's where they get
but
you.
Yeah. Other than that, like everything's pretty cheap. Everything's pretty base. It's just an experience, man. You're just there for the experience.
Where they get you, Vince. One day we'll go. We'll make the most of it.
I'd like to go back.
I like golf that day. I'll pretend I like golf that day.
I would like to.
Okay. So just like that menu is a strange and unusual thing.
Yeah.
There's also strange and unusual topics in the sports world. This week we are back to our roots of strange and unusual topics because shit's getting weird and sexual. Vince, what happened?
Sorry, I had to reconnect my phone. I'm back. Shit's getting weird and sexual. Agreed.
Once again.
Huh?
Weird and sexual.
Yeah. You want to go ahead and explain this real quick?
No, I'll let you and your young generation tell us all.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you're only 3.5, 4 years older than me, but whatever. That's fine. Thousands of intimate images seized in the Weiss hacking investigation. Michigan's back at it again with a bad boy in their coaching staff. One man by the name of Matt Weiss has been caught getting IP addresses from across a lot of college athletes. Some would say the majority of them that have gone to Michigan. He has gotten access to social media, email, and cloud storage for more than 2,000 athletes, as well as 1,300 students or alumni from schools across the U.S., including thousands of, quote, candid, intimate photographs and videos have been seized from the defendant's electronic devices from his cloud storage, doing explicit sexual acts. So essentially he did the fappening from, 10 years ago or whatever, to a bunch of 18-year-olds. This guy is a pervert sex offender.
He is a sexual deviant at the highest level. But man, like, here's my question.
Okay. Tread carefully.
Why do you feel the need to get so creative when the internet exists?
He
if you read this article, it's truly fascinating because he hacked into the mainframe of the University of Michigan's college, all of them. So he hacked into the mainframe of the University of Michigan's IP addresses for sororities primarily.
Gross, dude.
He pulled, based off of these IP addresses, all of the information off of the iClouds of each sorority to get the explicit photos. I mean,
this is
what?
next level criminally
This
horny.
Next
Disgusting.
level hacking, jacking, and I mean it's insane. And
It's
we've just created
gross.
a new
hack and
acronym.
jack. The hack and jack.
The hack jacking. This was a hack jacking of epic proportions, and not just like I'm hacking. And not just like I'm hacking the internet to find the nudes of some celebrity. No, 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 no. We are hacking the fucking IP addresses of major sororities in order to get these nudes. I mean, 10 out of 10 for creativity, 0 out of 10 for humanity.
These are like 18-year-old people, and he is 42. This is a 42-year-old man. You're disgusting. You are a disgusting, disgusting person. Guess what position you used to play?
Tight end.
Punter. Yep, sounds about right. Sounds about right.
He's a punter. Hey, the Bears would draft him in the 4th round.
No, he wasn't good like that. He wasn't good like that, let's be honest.
Hey.
He also worked, so under this, he got fired in 2023 after the Michigan's insane season. He also worked previously in Baltimore with John Harbaugh, and then also worked with Jim Harbaugh in Michigan. Both coaches saying they are shocked by said events.
They knew.
No way. Not to this level.
I mean, dude, he's like, imagine you're like in your little computer room,
your
at
Pokedex,
night, and you're just like on the just like he's just in there, just getting after it, finding IP addresses and the nudes, and boom. You know, when the internet exists, which it does, it is so easy to find wank material. It's so easy, mate.
No, I know this guy he's sexually depraved is what this man is. There's no, like, you can't even begin to put your head into the place of this guy. He found a way to get some insane shit from some very young people, again, very grossly.
This guy's the Boris of spanking it. And if you don't get that reference, you've never seen GoldenEye.
Yeah, I didn't get it, to be honest.
You don't get that reference?
I thought you meant Scott
Boris. No, Boris. Boris from GoldenEye. Any of my movie lovers will remember Boris. He used to say, "I am invincible." And he would hack the mainframe of GoldenEye, which was a weapon for nuclear destruction. Hence the Bond movie. But he is the Boris of jacking it. Because he is the hack jacker, you could say, of the university.
Hacky sack and hack and jacker.
He's the hacky jacker.
This guy deserves to be in prison forever?
I don't know if he'll go to prison.
He has to. It's like a considerable invasion of privacy.
Yeah. Well, Vince, you know, like that whole show To Catch a Predator is all over the internets, and those guys don't go to jail. Right? And they show up with pizzas and Diet Coke.
They have to act on said things, though. If they got like,
this guy pretty much acted.
That's what I'm saying. He acted on it. If To Catch a Predator, like they got him after the act, then yeah, that guy's going to jail. But they got him before the act.
Yeah.
Intent, but this guy literally got them, accessed them. We know all of those were viewed. Like all of these. This is a cut and dry case. This is a complete invasion of privacy.
Oh, it's an invasion of privacy. But if he has a good lawyer, I doubt he'll go. I doubt he'll do real time.
He should. What a disgusting piece of shit. I hate this guy.
Just the way the criminal system works, Vince. You know?
No, I'm just saying. I hate this guy. This guy's gross.
Yeah, he's pretty disgusting. There's no doubt about it. I mean, like I said, 10 out of 10 for creativity, 0 out of 10 for humanity.
Well, yeah, bad people can be smart for sure.
Oh yeah,
we've learned that forever.
Most bad people are smart, Vince. That's kind of a
Hitler,
thing.
Smart man, bad guy.
Hitler, smart, bad guy. Saddam Hussein, same
smart,
thing.
Bad guy.
Bad guy.
Hitler.
Okay.
Benito Mussolini. Smart.
Osama bin Laden. Smart. Bad guy.
Tall. Should have played basketball.
Went to Princeton. Could have actually played basketball. We just don't know it. Maybe, Osama went to Princeton. Osama bin Laden is actually a CIA plant. Actually, Okay, do your homework
Conspiracy
on this,
pod?
people.
Conspiracy pod?
Conspiracy
All right.
pod, we're back. Osama bin Laden was actually American educated and funded by the CIA, Princeton graduate, radicalized, sent back to Afghanistan. Boom. There you have it.
9/11. Okay.
And that too.
Got it. I didn't know any of this. I'm not going to say I'm not going to say you're right or wrong because I don't know. But
there is nothing to discriminate. I mean, there is nothing to go against this or disagree with this.
I'm not going to deny it either. I'm not going to tie my horse. I'm not going to tie my horse on it.
Google this.
Maybe I'll agree with you tomorrow.
Real factual information.
I believe you, but I'm not going to run with it. Just like everybody else that's listening to this, do your own research, just so we're not in trouble. But I believe that you're right.
I mean,
is that fair?
He was the best. That motherfucker was the best at hide and seek.
Yeah,
he really
was. A long
was.
time. Yeah, you always get caught if you're hide and seeking. That's a fact. Yeah. It's a known entity.
Osama bin. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, he went to Princeton.
Okay, CIA radicalized.
He was a CIA plant for sure.
Oh, for sure?
Yeah.
Or you think?
No. Just like how the CIA didn't kill JFK, right?
Okay, we're a sports podcast. I don't know what to tell you.
Just saying.
All I know is that guy was tall enough to play in the NBA. That's all I know.
That he could have crossed some people up if he chose otherwise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He would have been dropping bombs from 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On to the second strange and unusual. We have a 15-year MLB veteran, Octavio Dotel, died in the Dominican Republic at a nightclub roof collapse where now they're saying the death counts at 124 at the Jet Set nightclub. If you look at pictures, which I'm not going to show because it's pretty sad, but the roof just completely caved in on this nightclub in the Dominican Republic.
Wow. Well, don't
go to nightclubs in the Dominican Republic.
Don't trust the architecture in the DR, people. That's all I gotta say.
I have been there. I'm not the most surprised that a roof collapsed in the Dominican Republic. The building codes are a little bit different than they are here.
Yeah, they don't exist.
Sad. Definitely sad.
Octavio Dotel, I mean, kind of a journeyman in the MLB.
He was good though.
He was played for the Sox, played for the Royals, played for Boston there for a minute, if I'm not mistaken. I mean,
I think Anaheim.
Yeah, Anaheim there for a while as well. Multiple playoff appearances. I mean, really a wonderful athlete. And yeah, when you saw that name pop up, it's very sad. And these guys always usually retire to their homeland because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You probably live like a king.
Just go back. Yeah, your money is worth gold there. So we did a little investigative journalism about other people dying in the Dominican Republic because that seems to have happened a lot. 4 former ball players. Yordano Ventura of the Royals. He was 24. This was the most tragic.
He was great.
He could throw gas.
He threw gas. He was one of the best closers in baseball at the time.
Yeah.
And then they were going to start promoting him to be a starter. And then before you know it, he couldn't even live that out.
Yep. And we got Reyes Mortona, I think his name is, which not too well educated on him. Fausto Segura as well, who was at the time, this was in 2020, I believe. At the time, he was an up-and-coming prospect for the Nationals. All those 3 that we just said at the end were all motorcycle accidents in Dominican Republic. So,
jeez.
Sad way all around. But, you know.
Yeah, and Octavio Dotel added to that list. I mean,
more ball players have died in the U.S., though. I will say that. That was my only argument.
Yeah, that's true. More ball players have, in fact, died in the U.S. I mean, let's not forget, Roy Halladay.
Yep. Percentage-wise.
That was just him flying his plane, kind of like a goober, and then just crash landed into the ocean doing 1,000,000 miles an hour, right? It's just it's
or Jose Fernandez and all these
Jose
things. Lots
Fernandez
of drugs.
is really sad.
Lots of drugs.
Jose Fernandez was on the precipice of being like the best pitcher in baseball.
Oh yeah, the Marlins are really good then. That was like D. Gordon coming up. This is Stanton.
Yeah.
That's Yelich, young Yelich. That was a lot of good players on the team.
Do you think if he doesn't die that they're like World Series contenders?
Maybe, possibly, but also that's when Jeter bought him and all that stuff too. It all kind of changed really quickly after that, but
yeah, that was so sad. And then D. Gordon hit that home run. Yeah, he never hit a home run before.
He was crying. That
was emotional. Yeah, that was a sad story. And you just think about some of these guys have so much money, and how do you get in a boating accident while drunk when you make more than enough money to have a driver for said boat?
Cocaine. That was a big deal.
You think it was the cocaine?
No, I think it was. I think they confirmed that. They did an autopsy, and there
will be a payday.
Yeah, there's a lot of cocaine in that as well. But yeah, hire somebody to drive your yacht. But he probably didn't want to get in trouble with drugs. I think that was probably the thing. But yeah, sad.
Word of the wise: don't hack and jack.
Yeah,
and do not go to nightclubs in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah,
because the last thing we trust is Dominican architecture.
That's where we're at.
And that's where we're at. Don't forget to follow and subscribe.
Or go to an outdoor patio where there's no roof. Then you'll be fine.
Yeah, go to an outdoor patio, maybe go watch some baseball. I don't know. It's very slummy in the Dominican though, right? I mean, it's got to be.
Can confirm.
It's like when you go to the U.S. Virgin Islands, very slummy.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like tourism is big there. They have all-inclusive resorts and all that stuff, and then you leave it and you're like, oh shit, this is the reality of the place that you're at. So yeah, again, if you go to one of those places, like I have a couple times, like go see what everything else looks like around it too.
Regardless of it being a tropical paradise, it's also kind of a shithole. So
yeah. Unfortunately so. Money going in the wrong places. That's that on that. Should we talk about basketball?
I was about to say, speaking about money going to the wrong places.
It's going to the right places now.
It's going to the right places now. Think about how much this NIL money people pay for and all this shit. And then what? To get bounced in the semifinals.
Hey, man. We have to eat a little crow for sure. Man. I was feeling pretty good about my picks for a while in this bracket, and I thought that the big bad Dukies were going to take it all, but they ended up just dropping a big bad Dookie in the semifinals.
Talk about dropping a big bad Dookie. Man, they what was it at one point, an 11-0 run in the second half?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, this was the argument, like the men versus boys argument. It kind of felt like that was happening at the end there, where it was like, it just felt like Houston knew like what they wanted to do. They were like, hey, we're going to control this and we're not going to give it back to them. And that's kind of what they ended up doing. I mean, it was like Duke could have won easily. I mean, they were leading in the first half until the end of the game. And they only lost by 3, but it just kind of felt like if you got to win it at the end. The clutch time players didn't come out and play, and Houston had that, and a little foreshadowing moment. I think they maybe played too clutch at the end of that game.
Duke led by 14 with 8:03 left.
Yep.
Duke led by 9 with 2:06 left.
Mm-hmm.
Duke led by 6 with 34 seconds left.
Yeah.
Duke led by 3 with 25 seconds left. Duke led by 1 with 19 seconds left. Duke lost.
And they lost by 3. Yeah, it was wild.
It was an electric game. I mean, Cooper Flagg really played his ass off. I mean,
he's so good.
26 points, almost a double-double. I mean, he really is the best player in college football. Basketball.
Yeah.
Where my mind is right now.
Yeah.
So really one of the best players in all of college basketball, and he was very exciting to watch this game. And the ball was in his hands in that final possession, and he just could not get it to go. He was
short. It was like every shot that Duke put up was allergic to the basket. Also, considerable rebounding differentiation on this game as well. Like it just seemed like Houston was getting every defensive rebound available. What, they lost that by 11, I think, on the game. 11 less rebounds. Like it's really not the best way you want to do that for the game.
The game's won and lost on defense and the boards. There's no doubt about it. I just think that Duke kind of let off the gas a little bit, and Houston stayed in that game to the final seconds, literally, and won.
Yeah.
So when you look at Houston, and man, they really took it to them. Florida, that game was just kind of like, okay, yeah, they're better.
I don't know though. Like Auburn was playing their ass off in the first half, and they kind of just ran out of steam. I think Florida in the second half outscored them 41-27.
Well, and I kept looking at Wife, whose bracket was pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie. She had Houston going to the finals, which I was like, whoa, okay. And she was like, have me on the podcast. I'm like, okay. So one day we'll do that. Now, I will say this much, that Auburn just looked gassed in the second half because they were getting full court press the entire first half from Florida, and Florida did something quite similar against Houston, which both teams run well.
Yeah.
They move the ball up and down the court very quickly. That is kind of what they were both known for in this tournament. And I believe that's what got them to the finals, right? But Florida, to your point, I think they ran them out of steam in that second half.
Yeah.
And before you know it, it's, you look at the score and you're like, okay, all right, this ball game's over.
The last time, and we can kind of move this into the final too, but the last time Florida lost was, I think, February 25th.
That's bananas.
They haven't lost a game in a month and a half. Walter Clayton Jr. What a name, number one.
The guy who went to the Patino school. The guy who transferred to Florida.
Iona.
Yeah, Iona.
He's a fucking monster. He threw 34 down in that game, and then he won the player of the championship after they won the final. Like, he was the stud. Florida was hot coming in. Like I did say it last week. Like, Florida was hot coming into the SEC tournament. They ended up beating, I think, throughout this entire run, they ended up beating the second best team in the nation. They were third. They beat the fourth, fifth, and sixth. The only reason they played the third, they were fourth, and then fifth, sixth, seventh. They didn't beat Duke because they didn't get a chance to play Duke. But if they did, like, I don't even know if they would have lost to them. Like,
all for the pod. Do you think if they would have played Duke, that's my next question, do they lose that game? Because Duke, the matchups are quite similar. They're very similar teams. Florida shoots a lot better than Houston. I think the Duke-Florida matchup would have been ultimately the matchup.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if you look at shooting numbers for Houston, like, Florida was playing D. And, like, if Duke went on a notorious, like, a all-time cold run, they couldn't make a shot if literally God gave it to them. And
to your point, at the beginning of that game, though, or the last half of that game, Houston went cold in the finals.
They had 3 turnovers in their last 4 possessions, and then they were down 2. They had 1 shot left. You got to put a ball up. Loses the dribble, can't pick it up because it'd be double dribbling. Clock runs out. That was the end of the game. They didn't even get a chance to put a shot up like Josh Giddey style. They didn't even get a chance to do it because they just lost the ball. Like, Florida was just hounding them the whole time. Like, if Duke got cold like that and Houston got cold like that, like, I don't think either of them could have done shit against them.
Houston got cold, far colder before that last 4 minutes of the game.
Well, they imploded on themselves is kind of the concept.
If you go back in the second half, Florida wasn't doing too much other than playing man defense the entire second half.
I mean, they were on 39. They shot 39% from the field, so it's not like they were much better, but
I understand this, but what I'm getting at is that Houston in the second half was deplorable. They weren't even like watching them. They were trying to pick and roll. It seemed like every play, it wasn't working. And then instead of using your timeouts and trying to draw up something creative, they were just driving every single play and getting stuffed.
Trying to go right into the middle.
There was like 8 possessions straight that they try and go directly in the lane against Florida, and Florida was having nothing to do with it.
Everybody was blocking. 5 blocks.
Everybody, it was like a block fest.
Yeah, it was. And Juwan Roberts is the man for Houston. He goes 3 for 13 on the game. You want your best player to, I mean, LJ Cryer, obviously, but you want your best big man, I suppose, to like get in there and actually make some shit happen. But Florida just dominated the paint. I mean, they had 3 guys with double-digit scoring. That's going to end up happening. But Walter Clayton Jr., man. Walter Payton's cousin, Walter Clayton.
I don't think it's Walter Payton's cousin.
He's not. That's not how that works.
R.I.P. to the legend. I will say that this was one of the better championships you watch. You want it to be a close game.
Yeah.
You want it to be exciting. You want it to go down to the wire. You want it to go down to a possession, and it did. And it was a wonderful tournament.
Boring tournament, fun Final Four.
Yeah, I'd say that's a fair statement.
I didn't care for any of the first 2 rounds. And then it started getting a little hot there in the middle of it. And you're like, all right, shit's kind of happening. Arkansas, that game was crazy. Like St. John's going down. That was fun. But other than that, it was, what do we get? A 1 versus 2 matchup on both sides of the bracket. You're like, all right. And they were fun. All these games were decided within, 4 points was the biggest discrepancy?
Yeah.
Gotta take that. Let's go.
It was a wonderful Final Four. It was a wonderful final. And I'm in on the March Madness from now on, right? I've never been in always, but now I'm in, right?
No 5-star recruits, no freshman starters on either team in the finals. Now, if Duke went, it's a whole different game.
Well, they're all transfers, Vince.
I know, but that's
the
good.
NIL world we live in.
People have been arguing that, hey, like, it's always one and done. All these good teams are going to just immediately go to the NBA. This is good. Now we got teams that are actually like putting players in that have played a couple years. They are grizzly veterans of the game, like Houston, and they get all the way down. I mean, they got kicked in the Sweet 16 last year, or like the round of 64, I think, actually. One guy I feel bad for, Kelvin Sampson, the head coach of Houston, 799 wins in college basketball. He could have had his 800th win be the final, and then he could have retired, and now he almost got there and didn't get there. That sucks.
Well, think about it. It's got to just be the worst feeling in sports, period.
Yeah. Yeah, to get this close. Yeah.
Get this close and then just, oh, man.
It's like when the Bears made it to the Super Bowl and then they lost, and it was like, oh, my God.
And never again will they ever be that good.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's sad. It's crazy. But, I mean, it gives you a reason to come back. A lot of people are talking if Cooper Flagg is going to come back.
He's not. He's going to go to the NBA for sure.
Yeah, go possess your bag, man.
Yeah. Do you think – I heard this talked about a couple times today, but the takeaway from this final, in 5 years is probably going to be, I can't believe Duke lost.
Most likely.
Just because, like, if you think about, like,
they were
NBA,
so dominant.
If you think about NBA talent and you're like, Cooper Flagg's going to be good in the NBA, and they're going to talk about his 1 year at Duke and then be like, oh, my God, how did they lose that? Because they were insanely good all year, and then it was like just laid an egg in the semifinals. Like, yeah, everybody's going to remember that Florida won, but, like, if Walter Clayton isn't that good in the NBA, you're going to be like, who were these guys? Versus, like, the star power in itself.
Well, let's face it, a lot of these guys who are in this tournament, I mean, they don't necessarily all translate to the NBA.
That's good. That's how it should be.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
There'll be a handful of guys who are role players in the NBA, and then there'll be like one star. And I feel like that star is going to be Cooper Flagg.
Yeah.
Now it could all change when he gets playing for, the fucking
Washington.
Wizards.
Yeah.
It's all going to change real fast. Yeah. Or Utah. So it's just one of these situations where you look at it and you're like, okay, well, it's good for the game of college basketball.
It's fun.
I think it keeps you coming back because the game doesn't necessarily translate to the next level. Not like the NFL, of course, where, you watch a NCAA championship game and, probably 50% of that roster is going to play on Sunday, or
at least get an invite. Yeah.
Or get an invite. Where in the NCAA basketball tournament, that really doesn't happen. A small school can make it to the finals.
64
and none
teams.
Of those guys.
Yeah, there's 64 teams and 12 guys on an NBA roster. There's 8
Of
teams
course,
in the playoff and all that. Yeah, but
numbers game,
Yeah.
I completely understand. But it's interesting to see the comparison there. Now, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the ladies.
Women!
The women had a tournament over the weekend as well, and you can't say, "Hey, we can't forget about the ladies."
They should play in prime time. That's my first thing. Why did they play in the middle of the fucking day, dude? That was
they
wild.
They play. So on Friday night they played.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but it was like
You
Friday, early evening. It wasn't like Friday night.
You had Friday at I think they started at 4:00 this time, which would have put it at 6:00.
Was it the
Central.
final that was dumb?
No,
it was
Friday. Yeah, the finals was dumb. It's Sunday at 2.
Yeah, it was brutal.
So I looked at this watch Friday, watch Sunday, because wife is all about the ladies basketball. Yep. So South Carolina and Connecticut faced off. So you had UConn and South Carolina, which over the past couple of years have just been powerhouses in the college game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, UConn's kind of taken a back seat to South Carolina the last couple of years. South Carolina's just been going crazy. I think Cardoza, right? She's on the Sky now, but she went fucking wild when they won 2 years ago when they went undefeated. Crazy good.
Yeah. South Carolina has been kind of the creme de la creme, and they're still very good, but UConn this year was insane.
South Carolina.
Gino Ariama is a legend in the college basketball
100%.
world.
He's
in
the
general.
Coach K of women's basketball.
He's beyond that. The man has just won so many championships. I think now it's a record of this was 11 or 12 total.
Yeah.
It's insane. So Paige Buchers is notably Beckers, whatever. She's going to play in the WNBA.
Certainly.
Now, she's not necessarily Caitlin Clark, but this girl can ball. So to give you an idea, Vince, their last 2 games, you want to know what their margin of victory was?
I mean, I know what was the final? 24?
Their margin of victory against UCLA was 34 points.
Jesus Christ.
Their margin of victory over South Carolina. Want to take a gander at this one?
Well, I'm looking at it right now. It's 23.
They just were destroying everybody.
It's just insanely good team, dude. I didn't think Gino was going to get another one because he was just going crazy for so many years, and then it kind of dipped out a little bit. You get the LSUs, you get South Carolinas, you get other teams working, and then it's UConn just marched to victory this year.
Yeah.
Paige Beckers came in the same year as Caitlin Clark and Cardoza and Angel Reese. A bunch of them all come in at the same time, and now they're all making a difference in the WNBA. But she will be playing in the WNBA.
I would put good money on it that she this year probably made more money in NIL than they probably did in the WNBA.
But endorsement,
That's what I'm getting at.
And NIL is endorsement, but Caitlin Clark gets plenty of endorsement money. Angel Reese gets plenty of endorsement money.
Did you hear that Angel Reese said that, they're going to sit out if they don't get paid more?
I want her to be good because she plays for Chicago, but she's an idiot. I can't do it anymore.
I love the ladies' sports. I love it. I think it's great.
It's just
it's a subsidized league.
Think a little bit. I'm not trying to be an ass here, but I saw one guy that said Angel Reese is good at basketball, and I will never argue that. She is decently good. Maybe kind of a stat merchant a little bit based on what her percentages are. But regardless, she's pretty good. She would probably average 15 and 7 in the NBA. I'm Angel Reese? She's 6'7". She's the same, or she's 6'3", excuse me. She's the same height as a point guard. Why would she get 7 rebounds?
I don't think there's one point guard in the NBA that's 6'3", by the way.
There is. I mean, Steph is 6'2", I think, but and Kyrie 6'1". There are, but it's just not comparable at all. It's just we need to be honest with ourselves when we're looking at things like this. You have to be honest with yourself, dude. It is a
Now,
compliment.
videos did surface of Caitlin Clark absolutely smoking the Iowa boys in practice, where she scored like 33 points in 2
Her
minutes.
play style makes sense because she could shoot a three. You don't have to be tall to be shooting. But
she was pulling up from like
Reese
35 on the run,
yeah,
draining.
She got logos.
It's impressive.
Angel Reese isn't a shooter. She's a get into the paint and get to work. Like, you can't do that against Rudy Gobert. Like, you can't do that. It just isn't able. But
Rudy Gobert would just
yeah. And he stinks anyway, so we're fine.
Yeah, and he's horrible. He's a one-trick pony as it is. I don't disagree. I feel as if that, it's one of those situations.
That it's impressive and it's good with equal competition, but also let's be honest with ourselves, please.
And also, the WNBA is more popular than any like major female sport. I mean, we don't watch televised softball professionally, do we? Jenny Finch, but we don't watch it, right?
There's no Jenny Finch is so retired. She's been retired for so long. I can't.
Jenny Finch was like what we had growing up, but she was just like the coolest pitcher in softball.
She was a pretty
and
softball
kind of
player.
a babe.
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of weird though that like, you know, that if these rappers show up to a WNBA game, you kind of know what's on the front of their mind? Just saying. Like,
possibly.
Is that, I mean,
but the thing is like, I don't think about that with an Indiana Fever game. I think they're going to see Caitlin Clark ball.
No, but you know, when Melo pulls up to see Angel Reese, you know he's trying to.
Could be.
He might swerve and.
Are you saying Jello?
Jello.
Yeah, LiAngelo Ball.
Names.
I thought you meant Carmelo Anthony. I'm like, he probably appreciates the game. I don't know.
He probably
40.
does.
He's a basketball player.
I mean, hey, you can lay it down.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see? You know what I know? Speaking of the Ball brothers,
yeah.
Do you want to know what's so ironic?
What?
And I thought of this the other day. So the dad, who was LeVar was quasi famous for trying to start the shoe brand.
Oh, he was completely famous. He wasn't even quasi. Yeah. He was completely famous.
He was on the Herd and shit. Yeah. Be like, I beat Michael Jordan 1-on-1.
Hey, and then he was kind of right though. What he said.
He's full of shit.
He said, okay, but is he? Because what did he say?
I don't remember.
He said, all of my sons are going to be successful.
Okay.
They are.
He's not wrong.
He was right. He was right, dude.
And I don't think we can give him too much credit for that because his son are tremendously gifted athletes.
And rappers, seemingly, I guess.
And kind of a good rapper, maybe.
One good song. So
modern Birdman of 2025. But I digress. So he had his foot amputated.
Yes, did lose a foot.
He lost a foot after having a shoe brand.
Yeah,
which is hysterical.
Well, notoriously bad, bad shoe.
If you called in with
hurt Lonzo Ball forever, hurt Lonzo Ball forever wearing that shoe. Yeah,
like a cheap ass shoe. They tried to start their own brand, and LaMelo gets hurt.
Well, LaMelo never wore them.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Lonzo did. LaMelo is New Balance, I think.
Lonzo gets hurt. And then if you tried to buy them and you wanted to return them because they had so many issues, they'd just be like, "Oh, you guess you're too broke." And they were
like
up the phone on you.
$400 too. Like if you bought them, you're an idiot. You kind of deserve to not be able to get them.
You kind of deserve uncomfortable.
They were
shoes.
ugly as hell. They were so ugly.
Yeah, it's not like a Jordan. A Jordan's like the most comfortable shoe you're ever.
Well, just the design looks like it was like Temu. It was like Wish.com basketball shoes.
It was the Wish of Jordans.
Yeah, literally, it was bad. But he got his foot amputated. So him and Stephen A can never play. The worst game that no one would watch.
Yeah, the worst game that nobody would watch. Absolutely.
No,
it's out there lying like LeBron in interviews, you know. Just be like, "Oh yeah, I've read that book." Oh yeah.
Sure. What's your favorite quote? There's so many to count. Shut up.
There's so many. Like LeBron, have you ever read Mein Kampf? I mean, great.
Mein Kampf? What the fuck did you just call it?
Isn't that what it's called?
Mein Kampf.
Whatever.
Mein Kampf. It's like it's like the Mayans.
It's the Mayans.
It's
Hitler,
German,
you know?
Michael.
But just to say it, LeBron's probably read it. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, man. I mean, I could quote so many So many wonderful.
It's like,
great.
Hitler was a bad guy, but he's got so many. All right, done with the Hitler talk. We already
got so many. He's got so many dope topics.
Record was broken.
Record was broken. Vince, we talked about this last week.
Hockey.
Hockey.
Let's talk about this, bud.
Talk about it.
Alex Ovechkin passes Wayne Gretzky in the exact same amount of games, mind you. Or maybe like one either way, but almost exactly the same amount of games as Wayne Gretzky in New York against the Islanders, and then flies back and celebrates in DC. I have a question for you, because this was one of those records that we thought were previously unbreakable. No one's going to touch it. And it's been touched. What do you think is the most unbreakable record in sports right now?
Barry Bonds.
Gotta be Bonds, right?
Yes, 756.
Or is it the Cal Ripken games in a row streak? The
games in a row could be broken.
Maybe though.
It could be broken in the modern era of baseball. Probably not. Jordan, the only person who got close to touching Jordan was Kobe.
What, for 6 rings?
6 rings.
Yeah, but
what was
6
it?
you
9
can get
MVPs.
6. Yeah.
11 MVPs.
I'm talking about like just a statistical anomaly. It's got to be Bonds.
Bonds, statistically, yes, even though the record isn't necessarily a record.
But even Hank Aaron would be impossible to break.
Well, I guess that's the thing. I mean, Bonds broke the record technically, not legitimately. But then again, I mean, with juice baseballs and the rest of it over the years, who's to say that that's not true? But
I would like to let it be known that I give it to Bonds still.
Yeah, I give it to Bonds still, but we also have to remember hockey is still very much so a game where it's your team against another team.
Yeah.
Data analytics doesn't drive too crazy into it the way baseball has become.
Yeah.
Where baseball is this analytic data dork's dream today.
Yeah.
And figuring out launch angles and pitching styles and all this good stuff. Back then, I mean, that really didn't exist.
Yeah,
Hank
for
Aaron's
sure.
era, none of that existed. It was like,
that's the thing. Like,
ball.
you can't hit 700 plus home runs now. I mean, the next closest right now is Stanton, I think, and then Trout, but they're like in the 400s. Like, you'd have to hit twice as many as they have in their career.
And they're starting on they're on the tail end of their careers. I mean, their primes are basically over. I mean, Mike Trout's hurt every year. Same thing with Stanton. So
3 home runs in a row.
Judge might be one where you could maybe say that would happen.
But, like, if you look at his career trajectory, he's like 510 if he has a good career.
Yeah.
He'd have to hit 200 more. It's such an obscene amount of home runs to think about.
I guess if steroids count or if they don't count. I mean, Tom Brady, is anybody getting 7 rings? Mahomes,
that's going to be tough.
Potentially. But still going to be really tough.
Well, so I thought about this because I was like, all right, because this is like an amount of goals scored. So if you're thinking like amount of touchdowns, amount of yards, I was thinking LeBron's point total can be reached at some point because in the NBA, they score more points than they ever have right now. So you can get somebody that comes in and just scores all the time. So that seems reasonable. It's like in football, like we're passing the ball more than we've ever seen. Like maybe Emmitt Smith is going to be hard to catch, but maybe a quarterback will get it at some point. Like I'm thinking about something that happens so often that doesn't happen anymore, which is people get rest in the MLB, so no one's even going to try to get that. And then people don't hit as many home runs anymore. Those are the only two. It has to be baseball.
Well, yeah, I'd say baseball is by far the closest, but hockey is this special game where guys do play for 20 plus years. I mean, Wayne Gretzky played for almost 20 years, if I'm not mistaken.
38. He was 38. I looked at it the other day because Ovechkin's 38 right now too.
So if you look at it, like Ovi is right on the same trajectory as the best to ever do it in Wayne Gretzky. Yeah. So if you look at it, it's similar character or greatness arcs in the game.
But you want to hear something crazy though?
What's that?
If you erase every single goal scored by Wayne Gretzky, he still is at the top of points. Because he had so many assists that he had more than everybody else. That's how much better he is than everybody ever. He's also, in my opinion, the greatest GOAT of all GOATs.
I think Jordan's the greatest GOAT of all GOATs.
No way, because you can make an argument for somebody else.
Who?
You can. You're not going to because you're a stubborn little goat. And I agree with you
I'm
usually.
not.
But you can make an argument that LeBron is comparable. There is no hockey
LeBron
player.
is not comparable,
You
Vince.
can make an argument that he is.
14 years of playing.
I understand.
And Michael Jordan did what he did in that 14 years. LeBron James is going on year what now?
Who's the second best NHL player?
What year is LeBron going?
I'm not arguing for LeBron. I agree with you. I'm just saying LeBron's on 20, I think. Or actually, 21.
21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wayne Gretzky is so much better than every other hockey player ever. It's not even the conversation. That's what
Are
I'm
we just
saying.
talking the sport of hockey?
No, I'm saying anything. I think Wayne Gretzky is the best GOAT of all time. Sidney Crosby isn't comparable. Look at his stats.
I understand what you're saying. So you think in his respective sport, Wayne Gretzky is the GOAT of GOATs.
But of any other sport. He's the most GOAT of any GOAT.
Statistically speaking,
Tom Brady, you can make a little bit of an argument to it, but like Wayne Gretzky was still better in hockey than Tom Brady was in football. Winning is the only argument you can make, but Wayne Gretzky has more assists and
players
points than
in
everybody.
general are just some of the best athletes on the planet.
100%. Yeah.
Or like hockey players are so athletic, some of them could probably play in the NFL. They could also play professional baseball.
Yeah.
Like that's the type of hand-eye coordination and athleticism they carry.
They could play in the Masters this week. Ovechkin walked up to a tee box, missed his first 2 swings, and then hole-in-one one. Because he made contact.
The best athletes on the planet are hockey players. You're not going to get away from that for me.
I'd like to argue that. Yes, I'm with you.
I don't think that, the amount of athleticism and balance and the rest of it and hand-eye coordination you need to play this sport is bananas.
You want to play field hockey and then make it slippery? You're like, sure. And then they went and did it. Yeah.
It's insane. So leave it to, Canadians to figure that thing out.
Yep.
But Vince, speaking of record-breaking things, the Canucks last night. So we're speaking of Tuesday night. You're going to hear this.
Mikey Puck, dude. He doesn't give a puck.
Mikey Puck doesn't give a puck. But I got kind of caught up in hockey last night because nothing else was on. It was on late. So the first game I got the opportunity to watch, which I literally started watching in the last 3 minutes, and I was like, oh, this is over. But it wasn't over. So the Canucks were playing the Dallas Stars, and the Canucks are, where are they out of? They're out of Vancouver. So they're a Canadian team. So they're playing the Dallas Stars, okay? And Vince, they made history. They are the only NHL team to come back from a multiple point lead or goal lead, being the Dallas Stars were up 3-5 going into the final minute of the third period.
Yeah.
And these motherfuckers scored 2 goals. No, I digress. Yeah, 2 goals.
Yeah.
In the last, I don't know, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Dude, the Dallas Stars were up
3 goals. 3 goals in the last 2 minutes. It was out of bounds.
They were up 3-0 going into the third, and Vancouver scored all 6 of their goals. It ended up 6-5. They scored all 6 of their goals in the third period in overtime.
It was truly impressive to watch. In the final minute of this game, they put up 3 goals. It is out of bounds.
Insane.
To even that's not even possible in like NHL 10 when the game was rigged.
17 seconds. 17 seconds. Blackhawks Stanley Cup. That's all I can think about. 17 seconds.
17 seconds. Blackhawks Stanley Cup. Yes. But then again, a 3-goal lead being erased in the final minutes.
Unbelievable.
Like you have to actively try to suck that bad, and then losing in overtime. It was impressive.
Yeah.
Now, that was something that I just said, hey, we need to talk about this because it was history.
I get it.
I couldn't believe that was the first time in NHL history that had happened, and I actually had the chance to watch it. So shout out to Espen. Now, the Avs and Knights game was electric. This game went down to the wire. It was tied 2-3 or 2-2. Okay. The Knights had a 2-1 lead going into the third period. Avs tie it up. Game goes into lockstep, OT, lockstep, tied 2-2. Then we went to a shootout, which you got to love a shootout.
Yeah, kind of.
Why?
Okay.
It's
very
electric.
Fun. Shootouts are very fun. There's a reason that they get rid of it when you go to the playoffs, and there's a reason that they get rid of it when like games need to be decided fairly, because shootouts, penalty kicks in soccer, when they get to that at the end of the games, are such bullshit. It's so stupid.
Mano, babe. It's
sort
me
of.
with a puck and you with your goofy
but it's
first
not the
baseman's
same.
mitt.
It's not the same thing as the game. It's completely different.
I'm not saying it's the same game. I'm just saying it's fun. I wish like baseball brought in like a home run derby after the 11th inning.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And be like, all right, best hitters, mano-y-mano. Get after it, boys.
Yep, that's literally what it is.
If baseball was like, okay, it's the 12th inning now, you both get to choose your best hitter and your best pitcher, and you go mano-y-mano.
Yeah, no, dude, it's literally like a tie after overtime in basketball, and then they do a 3-point shootout to see who wins.
It's awesome. It's so much
cool,
gamification,
but it's
like,
so
it's
unfair. It's so unfair to like.
I mean, I guess it is.
The game.
You could send your best out there to do what they do. So of course the Avs, it's their final go of it, the third round of shootout, and they had their guy who was recently traded from Boston. Have no idea what his name is, but it was a electric game, and the Avs won.
William Karlsson. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
That's the Knights.
Traded.
That's the Knights. Nathan McKinnon, who is good on the, but he's been on the Avs, I think.
No, it was recent. It was at the trade deadline. I don't watch hockey, Vince.
I don't either.
Also,
dude.
The Maple Leafs have an opportunity. So I don't know if you know this. Well, the original six really hasn't made the finals in the NHL in probably like 10 years now. And the Maple Leafs are about to potentially do so. So if the Maple Leafs
finals,
the Stanley Cup finals this year.
Yeah, but that requires the Maple Leafs to be good in the playoffs.
Well, I understand that, but they're
never good in the playoffs. They just aren't good in the playoffs. We'll see how that goes, but I'll believe it when I see it, man.
One of my favorite character arcs ever is Dion Phaneuf in a Maple Leafs jersey. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
He went from Calgary to the Maple Leafs and just still continued to destroy people. One trick pony, but it was great.
Beauty. Need that.
Great.
Yeah, they're 47-26 right now. They're second, third best in the league, depending on who you're looking at. No, never mind. I forgot the Jets are like stupid good too. But yeah, man, we'll see what they do. Because this playoff hockey is the best. I don't watch any regular season hockey. I just follow the trends, and then I watch playoff hockey, and it's the best.
I'm the same way with the NBA. I don't really start paying attention to the NBA until the playoffs, because that's when they actually really start playing the fucking game.
It's just, dude, the Maple Leafs the last 2 years have been like good, and then they just vanish. I want them to be good. I think it would be fun if Toronto wanted like a full Stanley Cup, because they haven't done it in so long.
I just don't want.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Win. I'm tired of Florida teams winning. I'm just tired.
Well, it's looking like it's more unlikely this year.
Tired of the Lightning. I'm tired of the Florida Panther. I'm tired of it.
The Panther. It doesn't look like any Florida team's going to be that good going into it. I mean, the Lightning are really good, but like, the Panthers are too. Never mind. You just got to hope that the Capitals continue to be good. It'd be fun if Ovechkin wins another one. Maybe the Senators, maybe the Leafs, Carolina, take it or leave it, whatever. I'm good with that. And then you got like Winnipeg. Because also Vegas and LA winning too doesn't feel right either. I want like a Canadian or like a Cold City team to win.
Cold City team winning would be cool. Vegas is, I mean, they've been a solid franchise for being an extension. I mean,
insane. They've only been good their entire existence.
I know. My cousin's a Vegas Knights fan, and he's never been into sports ever. I'm like, well, that's just like
he lives in Vegas, though. He's allowed to.
I understand he's allowed to.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have many things to clamor onto sports wise in Las Vegas, so
you gotta literally that's it. That's literally all you got. And like
that's true.
What do they even have like a WNBA team or something like that?
I have zero clue.
Aces,
but what I do know
that the Vegas Aces.
The Vegas Aces. There you go. Darren Waller's wife played for the Vegas Aces.
Kelsey Plum.
And then he, I don't know, cheated or something, and then
Yeah.
wrote a rap album.
That was a beautiful couple. The two.
Didn't she cheat actually on him?
I think he cheated on her. I think it was a whole thing.
Got it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. She did like the goofy little popcorn eating thing. It was very funny.
Well, Vince, let's talk about golf. So go ahead.
It's time, dude. Everything's set. We're going to watch the Masters this weekend. I'm feeling good. I'm wearing my gear. I'm drinking soda water out of my, hold on. Rotate. Boom. Masters Cup. There it is. It starts today, technically, because it's Thursday when this comes out. Nice. First reminder, download the Masters app because that rocks. You can watch 4 different camera angles at any time.
We are not sponsored.
No, definitely not. No, there's no way the Masters would give anybody money. They make their own money hand over fist. You know, they have a year-over-year, 1-year deal with CBS that they can cancel at any time.
That's fascinating.
And CBS just takes it because they're like, yeah, we want the Masters. But if they go next year and they're like, give me NBC, then they'll just do it.
You have to be invited to play at Augusta.
Yeah, exactly.
Also to like join there, you have to be a billionaire with a B.
100%. And you have to have somebody that like references you. Like that's the most. It's so like I find it very annoying, but I get what they're doing. But I find it like
babe.
It's dumb, but it's like okay, I kind of get it. But yeah, like they have so much recognition as like the number one thing. It's like the Super Bowl having a year-over-year deal because you just know everybody's going to watch Super Bowl. Like the Masters is that affluent. Their app is the best and it rocks. So download it if you haven't. Have you been seeing these prank phone calls that are going around right now on TikTok and Instagram and all that?
Yeah, and I hate it. It's not funny. Could you imagine like
golf guys trying to be funny? No, they're not. So annoying. Golf guys aren't funny.
9 out of 10 of them.
And they're like, dude, you want to know something fucking hilarious? I'm going to call Augusta and see if I can grab a tee time on Friday. It's like, bro, Drake, that is so funny, dude. Like, me and Trent are going to see if I can go over to, like, Augusta on Friday. It's like, that's so dumb. I saw one where it was like,
hey, an invite?
Hi, my
name's
Charlie. I'm trying to get a tee time. What's your last name? Oh, Charlie Woods. You might know my dad. And you're like, dude, you're the worst. I hate you so much. Oh my God. It isn't funny. If you're thinking about doing it, don't do it because it's not funny.
If you hop on that trend, we will call you lame for the record.
And I'm wearing all Masters gear right now. But
and he's wearing like all like I eat at Fridays and make sure my chicken's boiled sort of gear right now.
Top to bottom green, but I don't boil my chicken.
He doesn't dare go near Garfield Park in that. Okay.
No, fuck no. Definitely not. No
just, I mean, all right. So you're not funny. It's not cute. Don't do it. These people make a lot more money than most.
It's not even that. Like, I'm not even worried about like them bothering people at Augusta because like whatever, bother them. They're probably getting paid.
Yeah, bother them.
It's more just like, dude, this is gonna be so funny on Instagram, and then they post it, and it's just stupid, and it's just dumb, and you're not funny. So, unfortunately, take it from me. The last thing I want everybody to remember is Rory McIlroy's not going to win, and clip this right now for when he does this weekend, because probably is now, but Rory McIlroy is not going to win every single year. It's his time.
Why?
Everybody do this.
Everybody thinks he's going to win a major, Vince. I mean, he's going to do it.
Every person on Earth, every golf person on ESPN, everybody thinks Rory McIlroy is going to win the Masters this year. How many has he won, Mike?
I don't know. The only thing I remember is that his wife tried to divorce him because he played too much golf.
Yeah, because he's a golfer. Rory McIlroy has won none. Rory McIlroy
0
should have won one last year.
Yeah, but he shit
fumbled the bag. Brutal. 2 years ago, he was the favorite, and he barely made the cut. Rory McIlroy is not going to win a Masters.
Do you think he needs like a sports psychologist? Do you think he needs somebody to like talk him through?
And then like when all the live stuff was happening and all of that, like he's just not going to win it. And everybody thinks that he is. And here's and the thing is like, yeah, he's a 100 millionaire a couple times over.
Has he ever won a major? Has he ever won a major?
Yeah, but it's been no, because he won the Open like a couple months ago.
So he's
but
won a major.
It was a long time since the last time he did. He's won a couple back in the day. He just had a long dry streak. My pick this year is none other than Colin Morikawa. And I'll tell you that because the last 3 Masters, handsome fella, good style on the golf course. Last 3 Masters, last year tied for 3rd, 2 years ago tied for 10th, 3 years ago 5th. He's been top 10 finisher the last 3 years. I think he might have it in him to win this year. That's my pick.
So you don't think Spieth or any of these guys?
I think it's fairly possible Spieth could, but he hasn't been that good in a while. I think John Rahm can come back and do it. I think Scotty Scheffler still can come back and do it since he won it last year. But this is my dark horse, never won it. He's going to win it for the first time this year. I want Colin Morikawa to win. I think it's really possible.
Okay. Who was the guy last year who like played himself into the tournament and actually competed? Finished in the top 10? He was like the Cinderella story of last year's Masters.
I can't remember his name at all.
What's the menu? Fuck the rest of it. What's the menu this year? What did Scheffler pick?
The players' dinner? I think he kept it the exact same.
Really? How can you do that?
Because I think he's like boring.
I mean, come on.
I think he was just boring. He did cheeseburger sliders and fire crab shrimp. Yeah, this is all the same. Texas style chili for the first course, ribeye or redfish for the main course, and then chocolate chip cookie skillet for the dessert. I mean, it's a great meal. It's a great meal.
What would your 3 be? What are your 3? Go.
Like first main dessert, and then appetizers. You got to go antipasti, then you got to go pasta dish, then you got to go protein.
Bringing some fucking grease into this. Yeah. Come on, let's go.
So I'd probably do for first course, I'd probably do like a linguine and clam situation.
So that's like your appetizer.
No, that's first course. Appetizers can be like little calamaris going around, maybe bruschetta.
All right. So we're going heavy grease. We're going heavy.
I think I'm going to go mostly Italian for something like this because it's easy to make the little bite-sized stuff. Maybe toasted raviolis, little toasted ravioli action on the appetizer.
Yeah, cool. They'll do that. Continue.
First course, maybe like a linguine and clams. Okay. You get your first course. He did chili. I'm not going to give chili. I'm going to give like a nice small bowl, couple of clams. Yeah. No, thanks. I'm all good. I like where he's at with the main course. I like a cowboy ribeye. I would like a steak. Give me a nice big steak. He's got macaroni and cream corn and all that stuff on the side. I think you just give the nice big piece of steak, maybe some meatballs on the side, something like that. I'll go Italian on this. Dessert's tough. Desserts you can go, potatoes. For sure potatoes.
You need some starch, Vince.
Yeah. He did chipotle lime roasted sweet potatoes. I like where he's going on the macros there, but I'm gonna go with like a nice sauteed like home fry situation for the potatoes.
I like it.
Maybe some asparagus too. Desserts is tough. That's tough. That's hard because there's a couple things I can go with here. I'm a big like ice cream guy. I like a little bit of ice cream.
Okay.
So I like where he's at with the cookie skill and the ice cream, but like I don't know. I don't know what I do with dessert. That's tough.
I mean, you could go. Are you a pie guy? Are you a cake guy? Are you just doing like an ice cream sundae? Are you doing a banana split? What are we doing?
I'm not a pie guy. I'm not really a cake guy.
Okay.
I would be like more of a cookie guy if anything, but like I think you could have like a really just like a nice succinct scoop of ice cream. Just keep it classy. Give me something nice. Right, give me something nice like a marble hot fudge. Yeah, all class here.
All right. Well, the only reason I asked you first was because I'm going to just knock this out of the park. So you're ready?
Yeah.
All right. So to stick to my Chicago roots, what I'm going to do is the finger food, right? Because you went Galamad, so you go super
Galamad. Yeah,
I'm going to, there's a G in there. So I'm going to go Gene and Jude's hot dog. That's going to be like the
an appetizer?
That's an appetizer. That is a Gene and Jude hot dog.
You're feeding golfers.
Fuck them. Exactly. They get it. So that's like the number one, right?
Okay.
So you start out super informal. Everybody gets a hot dog, Chicago style. Fantastic. You can only get it there. I'd have them shipped in. All right. Great. Now, the appetizer is a little bit more pinky up. Okay.
This is
The
first course.
appetizer. Yeah, so this is the appetizer. You went linguine and clams, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go big, just fucking meaty crab cake.
Ooh,
That's gonna be course one. Meaty
I like that.
crab cake.
I like that.
Give me a nice meaty crab cake.
Okay.
All right. Stay with me.
I'm with
now.
you.
For
we can talk
the main
food
event,
for an hour, buddy. I'm with
we
you.
could. For the main event, one may think Mike's gonna go steak.
Yeah, you're a red meat guy.
I am a big red meat guy. Love it. But at an event like this, I'm gonna stay on the fish train.
Okay. You can have both.
But
that's what I was saying earlier.
You could have both. So you could go surf.
He's doing ribeye or blackened redfish. That's what I was saying. I'll do the same thing.
So I'm a traditionalist in this sense. I'm gonna probably go bone in New York strip.
Nice.
And then either that or your choice of Chilean sea bass.
Like
right?
where your head's at.
Side action, creme brulee corn from Dominic's.
Ooh.
In Scottsdale. It's touch yourself good. Okay. So that's where I'm staying there. Creme brulee corn. And then from there, probably just like a super traditional scallop potato.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great. Dessert. I already know where I'm headed.
Okay.
Because it's Georgia and you need the Southern charm.
Okay. Nice.
I'm going straight up Mama's key lime pie.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going peach.
No, peach.
Peach cobbler? Peach cobbler with an ice cream? Woo!
Where you going, right? But no. I'm going light. I'm going decadent. I'm going because it's something you can serve there. It's almost the consistency of ice cream.
Yeah.
Right? Depending on the one you get, and you can basically serve that fucking thing frozen.
Hot take?
Hot take?
Key lime pie is ass. Hate it.
Oh my God. I'm going to walk out of the room. I'm going to walk out of my room.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
How is key lime pie ass, Vince?
Don't like
Where have you had key lime pie and you're like, that's horrible?
I've never had key lime pie that I liked ever in my life. And I've had like 7 of them.
Where have you had it?
I've had artisan key lime pies from pie shops before, and I've had grocery store key lime pies.
I don't want to hear about your fucking artisan Lincoln Park key lime pie, Vince.
I've had all of them.
I don't want to hear about your fucking millennial beanie key lime pie.
Stop this.
Where have you had like steakhouse key lime pie?
Dude, I've had key lime pies at the end of meals before. I've had them
where? In
many like nice restaurants.
Where?
I don't remember because I hated it so much.
All right.
The thing is it's not that I don't like the way it was made. I don't like lime-based desserts at all. I don't want lime anywhere near my dessert.
You'll put a lime in your cocktail, accentuate the cock.
Yeah.
That's
not sweets. I like a lemon bar.
So let me get this straight. You will have a lemon bar, you will have a lime in your cocktail.
Yeah.
And then but you won't eat key lime pie?
I don't like it. I'll probably eat it and I'll be like, "Oh, this is better than another one," but it's not going to It's ass. It's not my favorite.
So
you give me 3 different choices, I'm never taking key lime pie.
The best key lime pie on the planet. I'll tell you where to go get it because you can actually you're actually quite close to it. It's in River North. You could drive to it.
Okay.
The best key lime pie in the planet is a restaurant by the name of Joe's Steak and Seafood.
Oh yeah.
There's only 3 of them in the US.
Yep.
There's one in Las Vegas, there's one in Chicago, and there's one in Washington, D.C. So I would highly recommend going to Joe's Steak and Seafood and just for dessert, just getting that. And you will be the happiest little guy.
I think I'm going to regret getting key lime pie is what's going to happen. I don't like key lime pie. I don't like
I know you're wrong. I know you're wrong. Because I've had it, Vince, and it's truly outstanding.
I know, but
we're big
opinions.
Boys.
You're allowed to have opinions.
Welcome back to the...
I don't often turn down desserts. I'm just saying, like, if I had a choice...
dessert whore.
If someone was like, you have a choice of any dessert, the last thing I would get is key lime pie. You want to know what else
Yeah.
I don't like, which is an Italian faux pas, is tiramisu. Don't care for it.
Tiramisu's okay. I could
Don't
take or
care
leave
for it.
tiramisu.
Don't
Take
care
it or
for
leave it.
Yeah.
You've never had like a tiramisu that you're like, oh my God, I'm going to go and just wipe the floor up with this thing.
Yeah. I
Like,
eat it and
no.
I'm like wet sweet bread is all I think about when I'm eating it.
Coffee bread. That's
The fuck is a
sweet,
lady
lovely.
finger, dude? Get me out of here.
Why is a lady fingering me and I'm eating?
What are we doing? Yeah.
What are we doing?
I don't even like that when I'm not eating. Come on.
Welcome to the Taxi Food Podcast.
Oh.
We're back again. All right.
Enjoy the Masters.
Enjoy the Masters, people. You know what? Call it in and tell us what your
Call it.
menu would be.
Air it out.
312-725-2107.
2107.
Call it in and tell us what your menu would be. Do that. I like that. Vince, well, you know one thing you really can't pick your menu at because you kind of know what it's going to be. It's a good old ball game. Take me out to the ball game.
I don't know. You kind of can, no? Unless it's a milkshake.
I mean, you can, but you know what you're going to get.
Dude, I got
the
so
epic
many
story
people,
of the Miss Milkshake.
so many people like asking us why we pronounce it milkshake because they're not in on the joke. I want to get a milkshake. Milkshake.
I mean,
It's
the milkshake.
It's milkshake. It's not milkshake.
It's milkshake. Okay. And when you're a terrible baseball team, you have nothing to hang your hat on. Know what you lean on?
A milkshake.
A good old milkshake.
A good old milkshake. Yes, understood.
Good old milkshake, Vince. But yeah, it's baseball.
Baseball. We're now. I said this before we started recording. We're now at the part of the MLB season where it's no longer fun that it's opening day, and then the season's just going.
Yeah,
now.
it's like
it's
just
gonna
like, fuck, it's
go
here.
for
Great.
months, and there's just always going to be baseball on. I love it,
Always.
but storylines, whatever. Fun storyline today. Today, as in Wednesday, not Thursday, because this happened yesterday to you guys. Max Fried and Jack Flaherty went to high school together. Mike.
That's cool.
Harvard Westlake, same place as Giolito. They're starting
Okay.
against each other tonight.
Okay.
First time in the MLB. Very cool. High school teammates, one-on-one. Mano
Sick.
y mano.
This high school seemingly is like a factory of pitchers.
Dude, there's a lot of talent out there. It's good for acting, too. I think it's just one of those
Really?
schools that, like, they just send their talented kids to, you know?
So you could just either choose Broadway or baseball. Pick one.
Or like, be a doctor. I think it's just, like, smart kids and talented kids go there. It's like gifted kids
Smart
school.
kid.
Yeah.
It's a gifted kid school that's somehow really good at baseball. Tracks. Honestly,
All the
it
things. They're
tracks.
gifted at athlete. They're gifted athletes. They're gifted scholars. They're gifted singers and actors. I don't know.
Their parents have elite
Money.
genetics. You know,
They got money and they got
that part too.
genes. Yeah.
They got the genes and they got the quality ones. You know,
You want to know who didn't go there?
who didn't?
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Like he did not go to Hogwarts. Like
He did not go there.
you want to know who can
he was-
afford to send his kid there? Is Vladimir Guerrero.
his
Jr.
papa. His
He
dad
could-
could have did that.
He's got more than him. His son's got more money than him now. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 14-year contract extension until he's 40, because he's 26 right now. $500 million USD through the 2039 season, including a $325 million signing bonus.
That's fucking
Stupid.
insane.
It's so stupid. It's so much money.
On top of the 500 million,
I think it's
So the-
included, I assume. The way
so
I
the
read
deal-
is 500
the deal on top of the deal is like that's almost $1 billion.
I think the signing bonus is included to the 500 million. I think altogether it's 500
So they
million.
just front loaded.
Yeah,
They just front loaded the shit out of that.
correct. So
contract.
knowing that some shit's going to happen down the line. So now he's only on the table for 200 mil moving forward. 275 mil
What?
moving forward.
In what world? What type of in what world legally can you make that amount of money in one signing? Like just you sign a piece of paper. Here's 325.
It's just selling a tech business is really all I can think of that would get
Kinda.
that would
Yeah.
match you that much money.
Yeah, you sell a tech business. Speaking of selling tech businesses, have you seen a guy? He sold a business by the name of Illumin or something, and he got paid $900 million. Like he almost got paid $1 billion.
No, I didn't see that.
And he's 31 years old, and he's now basically retired.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And
I'm so jealous.
He claims he's so bored, he knows not what to do with himself, and that all of the money in the world doesn't necessarily just make you happy.
Well, yeah, but people have done studies on this because they say, like, money doesn't make you happy. A certain amount of money makes you happier than not having a certain amount of money. There is a threshold.
Correct.
When you have $100 million, you don't need any more money. It's not going to change the way you live.
No.
That's all it is. Like, it's like once you have a certain amount of money, like, I would be happy to be that man right now. I would be happy to be that man right now.
I would be very happy to be.
He can do whatever he wants.
You know what money buys you, Vince? You know what it ultimately
Freedom.
buys you?
Freedom.
That's what it buys you. I would be traveling the globe
everywhere.
You want to know what Tom from MySpace did? Remember Tom? He was your friend.
He sold off and then just went everywhere he wanted to?
He just traveled the globe, and now he's like a photographer.
That's awesome.
That's what he does. He's a professional photographer who just like does shit for like Nat Geo now, and has just traveled the entire planet.
Like, if you could be like, hey, tomorrow I want to go to Antarctica and just make it happen. See, that's real boredom is not having enough to leave where you are, but having enough to like sit there and not have to do anything. That's real boredom. Where you're like, I'm kind of stuck here, but like I can't do anything about it, so I'm just walking in circles. You can't really call yourself bored if you have the opportunity to do whatever you want whenever you want to.
It's very true.
I'm bored. Okay, go to Paris then.
Go do something.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Go ride a bull. Go jump out of an airplane.
If I could tomorrow, I would go to Normandy and then take a D-Day tour tomorrow. That's what I would do if I just were able to do anything right now.
If I could do anything, I would probably go to Italy. I'd go to the home country. Take me to the home country.
Go to Capri, eat some beautiful foods.
I want to go to Napoli. I want to do all the things. Give me the wine regions. I'm all in. They're in Tuscany. I want to go.
Sounds boring, Mike. I'd rather work.
No, fuck that. Fuck all of that.
You see Napster? You see Napster got sold?
Oh, again?
Yeah, again. It got sold the other day for like $300 million or something like that. So.
Napster, that's a blast from the past. But either way, Vladdy Guerrero, 14-year extension. Do you believe he will actually win a World Series in this time frame? Because I don't think he's going to.
We were talking about it a little bit, but like you
got Bo Bichette coming up on a contract year. The pitching is average at best. You're in a very tough division in the AL East.
Yeah, I think at some point he could. Because also, I don't even know if he's going to be on the Blue Jays for the rest of his contract. And in all honesty, if he's a very good player in 7-8 years, and they're just in the shitter, you're selling a $100 million contract? You're not selling the $500 million. They're giving him $325 off the bat.
Yeah, it's so much money to give somebody.
Right, but I'm saying like trading Juan Soto right now would be an impossibility. In 5 years, it's still going to be impossible. Trading Vlad right now would be impossible. Trading him in 3 years would be viable.
Yeah, but I don't. You know, the problem today with
what's he getting, like 80 mil?
I don't think any first baseman is getting you over the hill to win a World Series.
But no single. He's not
He's not a defensive dynamo. He's a one-trick pony.
But name a player that does that.
Paul Goldschmidt in his prime was fucking amazing.
What do you mean? So Arizona was going to go win a World Series?
No, I'm not saying. I mean, they were close a couple of years ago, and he wasn't even on the fucking team.
Mike Trout, Ohtani was on the Angels, and they couldn't do shit. Like, you needed a whole team around them. I think the Blue Jays are? Probably not, because they're probably not going to spend the amount of money they have.
Do you think Bo Bichette's going to re-sign with them after this year? I don't think he will.
Depends.
I think he's going to go play. I think he's going to go play somewhere warm.
He's maybe, but he's also not. Like, he plays in a dome. He doesn't care. But Bo Bichette's also like what, top 10 shortstops, but not like top 3 shortstops.
I mean, to be in the top 10 shortstop conversation, you're pretty fucking good.
For sure, 100%. But I mean, the Blue Jays aren't even competing to win a title now.
I mean, if he was getting paid solely on having great hair, guy's got
big
great
time
fucking hair,
big time,
great hair, luscious locks. Well,
dude, all MLB hair team.
The reason I asked the question is because you got some names coming up for contract, right? One most notably on the Chicago Cubs, who is just going off right now.
Yeah.
like Kyle Tucker, if you've paid attention to his beginning of season, is just absolutely rocking. Okay. And not only that, the Cubs actually per game rank top 3 in the MLB right now.
They're very good right now. They're very
so
good.
They are scoring at a pretty impressive clip. The pitching and the bullpen have gotten them into some big old trouble. If you watch that game Sunday against the Padres, you would know that their bullpen's in trouble.
They handed the Padres their first loss of the season, though. Fun fact.
I understand that they did that, but they also on Sunday were up 8-3 and gave up over the course of 5 innings 7 runs. So
thank God they have 157 games to figure that out.
Correct. And this is where we are in baseball. But okay, I asked the question and posed a question. Would you rather have Vladdy Jr. or Kyle Tucker?
Kyle Tucker.
Every day.
Yeah,
every day and twice
Kyle
on Sunday.
Tucker.
Regardless of age, it's the
No,
ability.
It's not regardless of age. It depends on what you want to like. Kyle Tucker's 28. So next year he's 29. You can't sign him to a 14-year deal.
Well,
he's going to be 43. 26. You're signing him until he's 40.
The 2-year difference.
And they have control of him on an extension. Like
what I'm getting at is Kyle Tucker's going to get close to 500 mil. You think of the AL East, he was on record today or yesterday basically stating by the Chicago media, they're like, oh, you see what Vladdy Jr. got? He's like, yeah, well, he's born there basically, and he gets to stay home, and good for him. He got his bag. He goes, right now I'm a Chicago Cub, and that's what I'm going to do, and we'll see what that brings.
Yeah.
So he's going to test free agency. There's no
100%.
doubt about that.
There's no question.
And I think he's on par to get similar money, Vince.
He might get a 10-year, $450, $500 million deal. He could very well get that.
I think he will. I think the Yankees are pretty aggressive in saying that they realize they missed the boat. And there's some limited cap.
Yeah, we'll see.
I could foresee that happening. Or if the White Sox sell, maybe. No.
Not yet. No. You still got 3 years until that happens.
That's very true. That's very true.
No,
but,
we'll see what he does at the end of the year. But like by the time the end of the year comes, rather. But like Kyle Tucker's going to get what is that? 9 figures in some capacity. Clearly, it's just every team is going to try to operate to beat the Dodgers because the Dodgers are spending almost $1 billion yearly on salaries. You have to.
They take the Bobby Bonilla thing and they're just like, well, that happened and it worked, so we're all going to do that now.
Dude, the Dodgers,
they're going to be paying contract money until 2087
because their valuation has gone up considerably. And they're at the point where you could have a Cy Young contender who is also the best offensive player in the league, but they don't need him because their entire pitching staff is nails. The Dodgers are so they're going to win again. They're
most likely going to win again because think about this. Let's say Shohei's healthy. Which he will be in the playoffs, and he can pitch
100%. But he's not even. They don't need him to.
But Vince, what if they're just like, "Hey, Shohei, it's Game 7. We need you to throw and close this game out."
Yeah,
it'd be fucking insane.
It would be insane, but that would be wild to be like, "Hey, first time throwing this year, go hop in there." But honestly, you see games where they're like throw a position player in there to go pitch. And they're like, all right, we'll throw Shohei Ohtani in there to go pitch.
Yeah, why not?
Again,
one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Their entire rotation's insane, and their entire bullpen's insane. And then they also have a backup that's Shohei Ohtani.
Did you see Trump met Ohtani?
Yeah, dude, his brain is splattered. He doesn't even know what to say. He had
fucking
no clue
funny.
What to say.
It was so
what did he
funny.
Say? He's got big arms.
What a tremendous athlete. What a beautiful athlete. I think he called him a beautiful athlete. What a beautiful athlete he is. Hey, look,
I need to find the transcript. I have it somewhere. Hold on. It is so.
Oh, yeah.
When you ran out of healthy arms, you ran out of really healthy. They had great arms, but they ran out. It's called sports. It's called baseball in particular. And pitchers, I guess you could say, really particular is what he said. That was the quote. That was the quote. What does that even mean?
Yeah. And then like he's there with him and he's like, the Declaration of Independence is over there if you want to take a look at it. Thank you so much for this Trump jersey. You know, I was a wonderful baseball player once. They told me I couldn't play. They actually told me.
Oh my
Donald,
God.
not only are you going to be president one day, but you could be on the Dodgers.
Shohei Ohtani, look at the Declaration of Independence. Like
Pretty much, it's what he said.
He doesn't even
It's
know
right
what
on the
that
wall.
is. He doesn't even know what that is.
Oh,
dude.
he's like, oh, okay.
He's like, what the fuck?
Didn't
He's
he
like,
look
what
at
is that?
Mookie? Didn't he look at Mookie while he was talking? He was like, what the fuck did he just say?
Yeah, he has like that doesn't mean anything to him. That was gold. That whole meetup, just like
I would love to see Donald Trump explain like a UCL injury in baseball.
no way.
Essentially what happens, there's a band in your elbow. His band, not very strong. Not a strong
Yeah,
band.
he wouldn't even be able to. He'd be like, elbow goes boom, and then
The elbow tears, and then after that, you can't throw curveballs anymore. Hey, you can't throw another curveball. He won't see another curveball as long as he lives.
so yeah, just unbelievable. Watching that was like a fever dream. I came out of it. It felt like watching a Biden press conference where you were just like, "What did he just? What just happened?
Yeah.
Like what just happened?"
You gotta just imagine. Like where Biden said it confused, Trump says it with such conviction.
Yeah,
and,
but
like,
he didn't say anything.
That's what he does. That's what he does.
Unbelievable.
It's like when you meet a tremendously full of shit
You ran out of
guy.
the healthy arms. You ran out of really healthy. They had great arms.
They had great arms, some of the best arms, but they ran out. They ran
healthy
out.
Arms.
Ran out of
It's
healthy
called
arms.
sports. It's
Called sports, people. Injuries happen. Yeah.
It's called sports. It's called
it's like a
baseball
full-
in particular. It's called baseball.
It's like a full of shit sales guy trying to explain something to you he knows
Yeah.
nothing about.
Yeah, he's like, I can.
that's-
Yeah. Listen, I'll be your agent. It's called baseball. It's called sports. It's called baseball in particular.
It's called
healthy arms.
baseball. You need a healthy arm, man. So what we need to do is look at this from a 10,000-foot lens and
You could
really
say,
break
in
this out step by
particular,
step.
In particular,
like
healthy
what you're thinking about right now isn't necessarily the end goal, but we could get you to the end goal. Makes sense? Makes sense? That's okay. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
That is the prototypical line for a full of shit sales guy. The guy who like asks you more than once. Does it make sense?
Yeah,
You're
no, it
full of
doesn't.
shit.
Clearly it doesn't because you're an idiot.
Because if it made sense, I would just be like, yeah, no, okay. Yep.
Does that make sense? No.
There would be like, no, it doesn't make sense. Guys who give you, does that make sense? More than once in a conversation
aren't making sense to themselves.
Full of shit.
Wholeheartedly.
Just going to throw that out there.
Wholeheartedly.
I don't deal with
really
this
good
day and
arms. It's called sports. Baseball.
Beautiful arms. Some of the best arms you've ever seen.
Okay. NBA.
You're fired. You're fired in the NBA. Speaking of which,
Michael Malone, you're fired. Calvin Booth, GM of the Nuggets, you're fired. 3 games away from the playoffs. They get rid of their head coach and their GM. All of the reporting after that, they never liked each other. They rarely spoke to each other, talked behind each other's backs. Teams struggling, quote unquote, on the court. I mean, right now I think they're 4th in the West, but the crazy thing is the West, between the 3rd place and the 8th place, it's a 2-game separation. All of them are within 17 to 18 games back.
You know what I just think about? I think about how the fact that the Bulls would never do anything like this. Ever. Like, these guys are on the cusp of
this isn't good.
Going to the playoffs
this is not
competing.
Good. Yeah.
I know it's not good. They're on the cusp of going to the playoffs and competing, and their ownership was just like, you
these
two
guys
fucking
don't
hate
get
each
along.
other?
Yeah.
Fuck them. You're both done. Fuck you. Goodbye.
Dude, he's the most winningest head coach in Nuggets history. He's the only guy that's ever bought them a championship. And they go, We have the best player in the league. What if we fire our coach 3 days before the playoffs start? Good idea. That's a good idea.
Let's do that. Maybe they think they're trying to catch lightning in a bottle. Get some really willed assistant head coach who's like
no. So they're coaching as a commission now. All of their coaches are coaching together.
That don't work.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers.
Go get Bill Murray off the Monstars.
Yeah.
And he's going to be a player coach, just like how he did for the Monstar or for Mike.
Yeah.
Back in that movie
for
Space
the Toon
Jam.
Squad. For the Toon Squad.
For the Toon Squad.
Yeah.
Go get Bill Murray and he could do it.
I can't believe they're coaching by committee into the NBA playoffs. Good luck. It's like when the Bucks got rid of Budenholzer for Doc Rivers, and they're like, this is going to be better. And you're like, no, it's not.
Yeah, and then talk about Doc Rivers being a full of shit sales guy.
100%.
He's the epitome of that.
Yeah, you can win.
He's like,
with
well,
KG.
I've never lost the series, so.
Yeah, you never had it to begin with, Doc. I don't know what to tell you.
Is this motherfucker saying words? And then you got Tom Thibodeau out here already burning his team out. They lost last night against the Celtics.
Yeah, they're so burnt. It's gonna suck. They're probably gonna win 1 or 2 series, and then Eastern Conference Finals or the semis. It's gonna be over, unfortunately. And that's that on that. Unfortunately. That's basketball. Well, let's go. Let's get some playoffs going, guys. Let's talk about that shit. It's coming soon. I'm very excited. Very excited.
Yeah, we got to definitely get something going. Vince, I just saw an email notification.
Yeah.
Do we have an air it out?
There's something that we do here on this podcast called Air It Out. We've talked about it a couple times. And just to remind you again, you can call in with your
live Air It Out.
Yeah, live, ready to go. Let's run it.
Wow.
312-725-2107. I'll say it again, 312-725-2107. If you're watching, it's at the bottom of the screen. Call in with a hot take. Let us know. Let's listen. Let's see what we got here.
Let's see what we got.
Hey, boys. This is Richie, longtime listener, third time calling. Mike, how you doing, you sweet little red velvet cupcake with buttercream frosting? You know what I think about you.
Wow.
First things first. Mike, I gotta say, just last week, I admire the choice to not get on an actual bull. I know I had a pretty strong take calling you a pussy, but I have to say, not getting on an actual bull is an admirable choice. I get it. But also,
Thanks,
what the hell kind of yeehaw-ass bar did you go to that had an actual bull that you could ride? That is such an aside from where I'm trying to go here. But here's the main point. Last week, you talked about the infamous torpedo bat, and I wanted to back up this show's take because you both are gentlemen and scholars.
Thank you.
My personal opinion is that the bats and anything within the rules that allows a competitive advantage due to a loophole is absolutely dope.
Yeah,
I think that if you want to employ an MIT graduate to look at the rules and determine what the best way is to make a bat that hits absolute missiles within the confines of the rules, absolutely do it. That is cool as hell. And if other teams want to get mad about it, it is 100% because they did not think about it first.
Facts.
I think that sports are more fun when you have teams finding and using loopholes that are within the confines of the rules.
Okay.
Obviously, the Astros come up. They straight up broke the rules and didn't use a loophole, so I'm not ever going to defend them.
Facts.
But on the other side of that, I love it when a punt returner in football puts 1 foot inbound and 1 foot out of bounds to draw a penalty and get extra yards. That's awesome. Or Bill Belichick laughing on the sidelines in 2019 because he knew about a random delay of game loophole and took the Jets for a ride. That was hilarious. And also as an F1 fan, I think it's so fun when teams know how to make car designs that skirt the confines of the rules. So all I'm saying is that it is 100% on player from a baseball point of view to hit the ball. And if a team finds advantages to make it easier for a player to hit the ball and hit absolute pitch missiles, that's awesome. So 100%, I think that the new torpedo bats have the opportunity to make baseball have a steroid era without having to force players to be like, yeah, I'm going to actively take steroids.
Yeah.
I think that is so
I'm
great
all
for the
about
game of
actively
baseball.
taking steroids.
So, yeah, looking forward to your thoughts, fellas.
Yep. He's right.
Richard, he's right.
He's right.
He's right. Why is he right? Because he agrees with us.
He's just right. Yeah.
Where I disagree with him is that bring steroids in the game. Legalize a certain amount of steroids for everybody to take, and they're all on the shit. It would be like MLB Slugfest out there, and it would be fantastic.
Well, I think it aligns as like make it legal to take steroids. Because that's the whole thing. It's like you can come up with 100 different completely illegal things to do. This is within the confines, and they did it properly. Torpedo bats rock.
I mean,
they're just mad that they didn't do it first. He's right about that.
Steroids, in theory, are legal. You could go to any men's health facility across
In
the U.S. and
MLB
get steroids.
playbook, in the rule book.
Oh.
They're not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
I mean,
right.
it's yeah, that's all I'm saying. Not illegal from a state or federal situation, but simply the league. Also, ho-dunk bull riding, agreed, 100%. What
It's
was
the
that place?
desert, you fucking jackaloons. What are you? This isn't the city of Chicago, and they just opened some fucking country bumpkin ass bar in Wrigleyville.
Yeah.
Where you could ride a bull. What's the name of it?
Saddle Up or whatever. They got that
See,
one.
you know.
Yeah.
See, Saddle Up. That's new. That's just Chicago trying to be country bumpkin. This is legit country bumpkin.
Yeah, Western country. Just get on the bull, dude. Just stop being a baby. Get on the fucking bull.
I'm not getting
Get
on
on
a
it.
real bull. I'm not
Get
getting
on
on a
it.
real bull. Vince,
Unbelievable.
I don't want to bury the lead, but we might be able to do this whole thing together. Let's talk about the NFL.
Thank you for the call. Thank you for the call. Make sure
Thanks
you
for the
come
call,
in and air
Richard.
it out. I love you, Richard. 312-725-2107. Do it.
Do it.
Football.
Now,
Football.
I mean, we'll even play it live. That was live time.
That
There
was live,
no
babe.
planning.
I don't
that.
know
It
what he
like,
was gonna
that's
say.
live. We had no idea. He could have said we're assholes, which sometimes we are. But let's
he
talk about
kind
the
of did in a lot of ways because we are, but whatever. We're good.
Yeah, it's fine. So the NFL, this is mock draft central, but I did some digging on the YouTubes, and I didn't realize, I sent this to Vince the other day. There is an entire off-season documentary on the Chicago Bears. The 1920
they do it in
football
season.
draft.
They do it in season too.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, it's
Oh, no
like
kidding. Okay.
a lot of teams are doing this right now. They do like Hard Knocks for themselves, which is way better than the
That's
Hard
hot.
Knocks, to be honest. It's like,
I
granted,
mean, if
it's
there's any
they do it for
there's any
like,
way of
positive
giving
PR.
yourself a hand job.
Yeah, it's all positive PR. Like
Yeah.
none of it's going to be
Yeah.
bad. But yeah, they do have their own. But sorry, go on.
It's like your resume. It's like if there's only one time in your life where you could give yourself a blowjob, it's your
Yeah.
resume.
Oh yeah.
I'm awesome, and here's why.
What are your
Right.
biggest weaknesses? I work too hard.
What are your biggest weaknesses? I can't say the word. No, I really
I
don't know how
care
to say
too
the word.
much.
It's just like
Work-life
here,
balance doesn't exist
Yeah.
for me.
job interviews are just like bend the truth and tell
And
us
then
why
2
you're
weeks later,
awesome.
you're
I'll
like,
bend
no,
it.
I'm not going to do that.
No, I'm not going to fucking do that. I digress. So this is ultimately the YouTube version for the Chicago Bears of a blowjob because it is the overhyped machine.
Yeah.
They are documenting Ryan Poles as if this motherfucker has won 20 Super Bowls. Like he's in the war room of the combine and they keep like cutting to Adam Schefter. He's like, the Chicago Bears have an opportunity this year to draft the elite talent at this. And then they cut to Ryan Poles in the war room. He's like, you know, what you really got to understand, like my first time I had so many. Yeah, you got to, like, what you really got to understand. Like, he's like talking to like his assistant guys and he's like, where's he on our draft board? Where's he on our draft board?
Move him up. Move him up.
Move him up. And you're like, no, that motherfucker didn't say that.
No.
Or look at him and be like, you know, I remember my first time as an assistant in a war room and like, you know, I couldn't just get overhyped on guys, you know, because the stats only show you so much. You really got to look at the tape. And the guys are like,
look at the tape. They can run fast, but do they run well laterally?
Ryan Poles, you've drafted 2 punters in the
Listen,
past 2 drafts
we're not reopening this thing.
before the
punter
5th
pick.
round,
I
mind
like
you.
the punter pick. I like the punter pick.
Just saying, throwing
like
it out there.
Okay.
Also, you can't draft an offensive lineman to save your ass. Why you had to go spend almost $300 million in free agency to go get him?
If it works, we're good. If it works, we're good.
If it works, we're great. But don't sit here and act
what
as
do you
if
do? What are you doing getting mad, right? Why are you getting mad?
I'm not getting mad. I'm
Why
not
are you
mad.
angry? Why are
the
you
only
cranky?
thing I'm saying is, Vince, is that this is just the overhyped bullshit that I can't stand. I can't.
It's the Bears doing it. This is their PR team making a video for themselves. That's like you making a Tinder and you're being like, I'm really good at conversation. It's like, yeah, dude, maybe you're not, but you're going to say that you are. Like, what do you mean?
I understand it. It's just driving me a little bad because what he's proven.
His draft record is 50-50 at best. 50-50 at best.
Not so bueno.
Right.
Now, I mean, granted, I like some of the Ben Johnson content because I'm all in on Ben Johnson right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he's cool. I mean, the guy
Ben Johnson works out, the signing works out, then Poles, you deserve to have some fucking, you deserve to floss with it.
And Poles, you get some flowers. Fine. Jerk yourself off. That's fine. Now,
who else is going to do it, you know?
Right. Do it yourself. Kevin Warren out there maybe give you a little under.
We need some new chairs. We need some new chairs.
Yeah. New chairs. You talk about LeBron level bullshitting.
Yeah.
Is that episode of Hard Knocks where he's like, I really like those chairs and those suites.
I think we should have some we should have some bar swivel sheets.
Some bar
like,
swivel.
Why is he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why is he
it's
in
like
this?
LeBron. It's like LeBron talking about when he made music. He's just like, we were thinking about 12 songs, but we did 20, release them at a different date. Here's 10 more for you. Here you go.
We got to go to 10,000. We got to go to 10,000.
Got to go to
now
20,
that you're at 10,000, you got to go to 20,000.
I mean, now we're at 10,000. So we got to go to 20,000. Okay.
Idiot.
No, not even going there.
Nope.
But the Bears are starting their off-season program.
Yeah.
And most recently, they interviewed Caleb Williams and Darnell Wright. And
Yes.
the only thing I'm going to say is if Caleb Williams doesn't stop drafting or dressing like a character from the fucking Matrix, I don't know what more I'm going to say.
I love it.
I know
he looks
he's
so
Gen
cool.
Z boy, swaggy
he looks
boy.
cool. Come on.
He
What do you
looks
want him
like
to
a
look
character in the fucking Matrix.
He looks sweet, dude. He looks like an anime character. I love it. Give it to me, dude. I want him to have swag. You are senor anti-swag, dude.
He
don't
looks like Gen Z Shaft walking around with his fucking goofy glasses.
10 years younger than you, dude.
This
is just the reality of the beast. You gotta
get it.
You're turning into an old man yelling at clouds. You're doing it. You're actively doing it.
No,
yes,
I'm not.
You are.
I respect the swag. I respect the swag. I respect it.
If you get Keanu Reeves that bullet into Rome Odunze's hands fucking 20 times this year and a couple TDs,
I'm in.
all day. Come here looking like Keanu Reeves every day. I don't give a shit, dude.
I've thought of bringing myself to become semi-swaggy, where
I've been asking for years. I've been asking you to do it for years.
The baggy shirts that the kids are wearing with the NASCAR logo.
Yep.
And then I'll go get a pair of Jenkos, I guess, because those are back in.
No, those are boot cut baggy. You got to go baggy whole way down. I got some baggy cargos with a drawstring at the bottom. Psh, beauty.
Dog, I can't do that.
You can. You just got to do it.
I'd just be walking up just it's like
Steve Buscemi
hello,
and 30 Rock.
Fellow used.
Steve Buscemi and 30 Rock. Exactly.
Hello, fellow
yes.
used. What's up, kids?
I watched 30 Rock recently, and I forgot that was from 30 Rock.
I understand where I am in the simulation, right? I mean, I'm closer to 40 than I am the opposite. So
no, not true. You're closer to 30 than you are to 40.
That's true.
You overage yourself. I probably underage myself. We could probably meet in the middle somewhere, but
gotta meet in the middle. In the middle. But either way, they had their press conferences. I love Caleb. If anybody says that guy's dry, I don't know where you get that from.
It's also a press conference. What do you want him to do?
Yeah. What do you want him to do?
Yeah.
What do you want him to do? Talk about jazzy stuff. Darnell Wright comparing himself to Penei Sewell is just, boy, oh boy, that's going to blow up in his face.
Yeah. Brutal.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
I watched that whole thing and they're like, So do you think you could be Penei Sewell? And he's like,
well, why'd they ask him to, though?
I understand that the Chicago media loves baiting.
Idiots.
He did kind of preface it by saying, I have my own game. I have my own style, but there are things I would like to take from his game. I said,
I like
very
that.
Well said. And he did say basically to all of them, he's like, I'm kind of nervous. And I just kind of thought it was sweet. So I like him, but he needs to protect the blind side.
Proof in the pudding, kid. Come on now.
Yeah. Go make it known that you're somebody. Because when you were drafted, Vince and I had no idea who the fuck he was. Who?
Big boy. Big boy.
Now, there are a lot of concerns coming out of this camp, though, that Ben Johnson really likes to utilize play action. And he likes a quarterback that plays under center. If you look at how many snaps and their snap percentages last season of the Detroit Lions, about 80+% of them were under center.
Yep.
Caleb Williams since college has played out of shotgun. He's probably only taken 20% of his snaps entirely out of an under center model. So there's a lot of concerns that he's not going to adapt well to hand in the butt sort of thing.
But why?
Because
he hasn't done it. Was Jared Goff going under center with Sean McVay the whole time or no?
No, not really.
And he came in and he did it. He's a consummate professional.
Yeah.
This is the thing, dude. I understand you have to bait the different things you're going to say in an article to different people. Caleb Williams hasn't played under center. Is he going to be able to do it? And then they sit there for 10 minutes talking to themselves, having a whole conversation with themselves about if Caleb Williams is going to be good under center. Who knows, dude? He might have done half of his high school under center and he would have been fine. We haven't seen it. And also, we have time to figure that out. And if it doesn't work, then don't do it anymore.
Well, they're coming back with it. And, Ben Johnson's even stated that playbook's out the window.
His offense isn't going to be the same offense.
Correct.
It's going to be similar probably, but it's not going to be the same.
Speaking about not being the same, Mel Kipers' mock draft came out.
It's probably wrong.
27.80.
Yeah.
Yes, Shedeur Sanders going to the Saints, which has changed.
Madden's been doing that to me the last couple times I've done a mock draft on it. I've seen.
Vince, are you clamoring this much for football that you're downloading draft classes? And just
dude, I mock draft Madden a couple times just to see where it's at. We do it every year. We are going to be together for said draft.
Wait, what?
I have to know. Yeah. Oh my god.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna be I'm gonna be in the Sunshine State of Arizona, which is not the Sunshine State.
Let's go.
I will be there with you.
Saw, dude.
All I've seen about Shedeur Sanders, Guasa, dude. Welcome to Arizona.
Dude,
sunshine and
back
bright.
In town.
Sunny G's on, dude.
Boys are back in town.
Everything from Shedeur Sanders, whether it's he taps the ball too much, which Caleb does too. He's not athletic enough. He's not throwing it. His draft stock has only fallen. It's only fallen in the last 3-4 months. Wouldn't be surprised if he drops out of the top 10. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the Saints because they don't have a quarterback. This is what we've been saying the whole time. Shedeur Sanders is good. He's not that good. He's good. He's overhyped. He was overhyped.
Once again, I've said it 100 times. If Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders are in last year's draft class stacked up against Drake May,
you just hate Cam Ward.
No, I don't hate Cam Ward.
Yeah, you do. You said he was the second round draft pick.
Cam Ward is good. I think Cam Ward is good. But if you look in the balance of this year's draft class where it's Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, Jackson Dart.
It's
do you want to know where Cam Ward? Do you want to know where Cam Ward sits in the balance if he's in last year's draft class?
5th, probably.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm getting at. I don't think he sucks. I think he's a great athlete. I think he has far more holes in his game than what was the accomplishments of last year's draft class.
Agreed.
I think Michael Penix is better than he is. Just saying. Just throwing it out there. Michael Penix just isn't that good.
I think that's considerably reasonable.
Yeah.
I don't. So if you look at mock drafts right now, You can go on CBS. You can go on like NFL.com. You can go on
They're all
ESPN.
over
Like
the place. They're all over the place.
Shador isn't in the top 10 of like half of these drafts, dude. He,
Well,
like,
what's so
really isn't.
interesting? What's so interesting is when you break this out. Now they're like hyping up Travis Hunter going second. They're saying the Browns are all in. It kind of seems to me to be a smokescreen though, because somebody is going to fall in love and want to trade up to get that guy.
For sure.
You know who I could see falling in love and trying to trade up for that pick?
Who?
I could see the Raiders doing some stupid shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but you think Pete's going to be down for that? You think Tom's going to be down for that? The thing is they have decent minds in their building now. It's no longer Al Davis being like, that guy's cool. Trade up to that. Like, they don't have much of that. Like, Mark Davis isn't making the calls anymore.
Never forget Mike Ditka traded an entire draft class for Ricky Williams.
Yeah.
Just fascinating.
Didn't work out. Seeing a lot of Shamar Stewart to the Bears, by the way, at 10. Seen a lot of that right now because Shador moving down means Mason Graham probably moves up, which means we probably won't end up getting him. We might be getting an A&M boy. We'll see what happens.
He hasn't done anything.
I know. There's a lot. I would like to argue that there are more guys in this draft than any other draft I've ever seen of dudes that are just like physically they look good. But there's no tape on them being that good. There's so many of those going around right now.
You know who I like a lot?
Who?
And he's got a kind of a bad rap because he's done some stupid shit, but he's still a young man. And I feel like he may be the dark horse defensive end of this draft.
Okay.
And he crushed at the Senior Bowl. Mike Green out of Marshall.
A lot of people like
him.
A lot of people like him.
Unit.
Yeah.
Like, if Will Campbell doesn't drop, Mason Graham doesn't drop, I say trade back. And if people aren't all in on this Mike Green train, trade the pick so somebody can come up and grab whoever they're in love with, and then you take Mike Green at like 13 or 14 or 15.
Dude, we all have this friend that's like, so I have a friend named AJ. Who
shout out AJ
used to work with me. He's the man, but he is like a draft guy. He tracks dudes real early. He's got people in his pocket that he's like, hey, tell me about this guy and do all this shit. And he was telling me like 5 months ago about, hey, there's a kid out of Marshall. And I swear to God, he's a monster. And I'm like, all right, I believe you. And every little bit of tape I've watched, I'm like, he is a monster, dude.
He's a destroyer.
And like, yeah, he's in Marshall, and yeah, he's had different on and off the field issues. But like, if you're looking for size, if you're looking for speed, if you're looking for power, like he's got everything. You just need to know if it's actually going to transfer to the pro game. I like him. I would be wholeheartedly okay with us reaching out and going to get him.
Getting that guy around a Grady Jarrett, Montez Sweat, group of veterans to kind of reel him in, and a veteran head coach or former head coach who's now a D coordinator.
Yeah, Dennis Allen's the right guy to have as a D coordinator.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
And you need that more than you need most things. So I want to see quarterback fall on ground. Yeah.
I would. Yeah.
I like that. I feel like I want a guy who's fucking mean. I want that guy.
Well, we need that because we have a lot of like chillers that are good on defense right now. I need somebody that's just a like when Gervon Dexter came in, he was just a wild man. You're like, yeah, give me more of that. Like,
I want a psycho. I want a borderline.
Because Montez Sweat is good, but he's chill. Tremaine Evans is chill. TJ Edwards is chill. Like, I want a psycho, dude.
Grady Jarrett's going to be that balance, but I need a young psychopath. That's what I want. I want a killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We need some mean bears. We got a lot of mock drafts coming, but
next week, mock talk. We'll get into it. And then Vince kind of buried the lead, but the boys are actually going to be in the same room watching the draft.
Yes, sir.
They have to live stream this deal and get some drumming up, but the boys are going to be together. So that's the coolest thing. And we also have some content material that we're going to be bringing to you that you're going to learn about. So with all of that, we thank you for coming back week after week as you do.
Thank you so much.
And as always, If you haven't yet, subscribe, like, follow it, share it. If you got a friend, if you got a cousin, if you got an uncle, share it to the uncle, the year of the uncles. If you're an uncle and you have nephews or nieces, and this week,
Do it.
probably not a bad idea. Probably a bad idea. Let's face it. If they're of age,
Yeah.
let them listen because it's
13
funny
plus.
and you'll have a good time.
Yeah.
And you'll have a good
PG-13.
time. And not only that, but air it out. Gotta air it out. You just heard it today, right? And then it's all-
312-725-2107. Do it.
We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Talking Tales with Mike and Vince. Oh, you know. Jazzy beats while we dispense. Yeah, you know.